of forms, including physical, verbal, emotional, economic, religious, or sexual abuse. The ultimate aim of domestic violence is to gain and maintain total control over its victim. Domestic violence does not discriminate. It happens among people of all ages, ethnic background, and economic levels. While women are more commonly victimized, men are also abused, especially verbally and emotionally, although sometimes even physically as well. Unfortunately, domestic violence is among the most underreported crimes worldwide for both men and women. An abuser doesn't play fair. He or she uses fear, guilt, shame, and intimidation to wear down his or her victims and keep them perpetually under his or her control. Abusers may often seem wonderful and perfect initially, but gradually become more aggressive and controlling as the relationship continues. Here are some signs of abusive tendencies: showing jealousy of the victim's family and friends, accusing victim of cheating, controlling who the victim sees, where they go, or what they do, preventing the victim from making his or her own decision, intimidating the victim with guns, knives, or other weapons. Noticing and acknowledging the signs of an abusive relationship is the first step to ending it. Therefore, abusive behavior is never acceptable, whether it is coming from
President Buhari's 5-day state visit to Lisbon, Portugal, was a first-class success story of two nations determined to engender a close relationship. We bring you the highlights of the 10 takeaways from the visit. Authority of ECOWAS heads of state government resolves to adopt better approach in confronting security threat affecting the community. Plus, General Authority for Civil Aviation approve extension of landing permit for Nigerian Hajj carriers to Wednesday, 6th July 2022. Thank you for joining us. This is Panorama. I'm Ruth Aguela. Welcome. President Muhammadu Buhari's 5-day state visit to Lisbon, Portugal was a first-class success story of two determined nations to engender a close relationship. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, highlights 10 takeaways from the visit, including signing of 8 bilateral agreements in the areas of political consultations, diplomatic training, research and exchange of information and documentation, cooperation in the field of culture, women and girls development, empowerment and gender affairs, youth and sports. The visit also achieved a desire for a strategic partnership to strengthen the work Nigeria has been praised for. That is her stabilizing role in West Africa, the laying of a framework to strengthen security and cooperation between the two nations. Nigeria and Portugal, the statement added, have equally identified a common interest in the transatlantic gas pipeline, the Kano-Maradi railway line being constructed by a Portuguese company, and Portugal recognizing Nigeria as one of the 5 centers for vaccine production in Africa. In the area of sports, the choice of Jose Peseiro, the Portuguese coach of the Super Eagles, Nigeria struck yet another positive chord that resonates politically and diplomatically. In the field of renewable energy, with 60% of Portuguese energy got from renewable sources, the country ranks among the world leaders, hoping to reach carbon neutrality by 2030, and Nigeria will benefit from such record-breaking achievement, the statement notes. The Authority of ECOWAS heads of state and government say they have resolved to adopt a better approach in confronting security threat affecting the community. Now, this, they added, include new wave of attacks in coastal countries. At the 64th Ordinary Session in Accra, the West African Power Bloc also elected Guinea-Bissau President Umaru Sissoco Embalo as new chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government. Foreign Desk correspondent Usman Aliyu reports.
Here it's calm, but what is happening in some parts of the ECOWAS community is worrisome. That is why the conversations and deliberations that brought these presidents of West African sub-region, including Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, are worthy of reckoning. Security threat by terrorists escalating to the coastal countries in the region on one side, and efforts on mediation in Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso on the other. The outgoing chairman of Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Governments, President Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana, the President of African Union Commission Musa Faki, that of ECOWAS Commission Jean-Claude Cassebro, lend their voices on working together for a solution.
It is imperative for us to continue to implement our regional action plan against terrorism and to coordinate our various security initiatives. This will reinforce our collective response to this destabilizing threat.
Leaders of the ECOWAS community also reviewed the diplomacy, projected economic growth with improved trade integration in the sub-region.
One of the major issues that was considered today, of course, was the question of sanctions, the sanctions that had been imposed against Mali and some of the other countries that had previously been the subject of undemocratic takeover of power. And I think that the cheering news was that Mali, the sanctions against Mali were lifted, the financial and commercial sanctions were lifted. That's just one aspect of the sanctions. And we expect to see progress in terms of transition to democracy, to civil rule again.
Reclaiming of African cultural goods and artifacts from other parts of the world was also celebrated as great achievements, while setting targets and commitment for the future of the community under other improved development indices.
Authority.
Meanwhile, President Umaru Sissoco Embalo of Guinea-Bissau has been elected as new chairman of the head of the Authority of ECOWAS. He assured to continue building on the legacies of his predecessors to achieve the mission of the West African Power Bloc. In Accra, Ghana, Usman Aliyu, NTA News.
And back home on security, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has applauded the Oyo State Police Command for arrest of 6 members of a notorious bank robbery gang. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi says the suspects were arrested after concluding plans to execute a bank robbery attack on a new generation bank within the Ibadan metropolis, Oyo State. Similarly, the IGP also commended the intelligence response team for successfully arresting 5 members of a fraud syndicate who specializes in hacking into bank accounts of individuals and corporate bodies to steal monies. The suspects were apprehended while attempting to hack into a company's account to steal the sum of 3.4 billion naira. The IRT, that's the Intelligence Response Team operatives, equally arrested a notorious arms dealer and 2 kidnapped suspects in Kaduna and the rescue of 2 kidnapped victims in their custody. The Edo State Police Command has confirmed the incident of the kidnap of 2 Reverend Fathers, Reverend Father Udo Peter of St. Patrick's Catholic Church, Uromi, and Reverend Father Ohilimon Obo of St. Joseph Retreat Center, Abuja, in Esan Southeast Local Government Area of Edo State. In a statement, the command spokesperson Chidi Nwabuzo says already a dispatch of police operatives is on the trial of the abductors with the mandate to rescue the abductees unhurt. The Commissioner of Police solicits the cooperation of the public in giving useful information to the police. More Christian, faithful and religious leaders in Benin City have joined in condemning the incessant kidnapping and killing of religious leaders in the country. Now, they want the government to step up its game in ensuring security of lives and property. Let's get details from Joy Egbo.
Less than a week after the parish priest of St. Michael Ikabibo, Uzari, was abducted and murdered, two other Catholic priests, Reverend Father Stephen Ojakwa and Oliver Okpara, fell into the hands of suspected kidnappers or bandits in Kaduna State, although they were later released by their abductors. The spate of kidnapping of priests and clergy in the country is fast assuming a worrisome dimension. This is because when Christian community in Edo State are yet to recover from the shock of the gruesome murder of Reverend Father Christopher Odia by his abductors, another bad news broke. Reverend Father Peter Udo of St. Patrick's Catholic Church, Erome, and Reverend Father Philemon Obo of St. Joseph Retreat Center, Uboha, both in Edo State, have been allegedly abducted along the Benin Auchi Road on their way back to Urumi in Esan Southeast local government area of Edo State.
The kidnapping issue has become something that is so rampant. If men of God, people who are revered in the society, are going through this, I wonder what the men, women, children out there, what they are going through. I appeal to the government, let them come to the aid of the people.
The incessant kidnapping of priests in the recent time is strongly the work of Satan.
God is alive. God will arise on behalf of all well-meaning Nigerians that have been made victims of such attacks.
Times like this, we should not give up.
In Benin, Joy Egbo, NTA News.
When the news of illegal harboring of over 70 people in a church in Ondo town became viral, Nigerians were taken aback and reacted in different ways. Kayode Oludare, on a fact-finding mission to the church, reports that most of the rescued people are victims of wrong indoctrination, while residents of the area want government to immediately shut down the church.
The church, Bible Believers Church, Mercyland layout in Ondo West local government area of Ondo State is now under lock and key with security personnel on ground to prevent possible breakdown of law and order. The brainwashed members were rescued after a parent reported to the Nigerian police that his child was locked along other people in the church to wait for the second coming of Jesus.
The children, they bring to them amongst them, they put them, they not allow them to go to school. The wife that their husband is separate, all the family, those things we have been telling them, but they don't listen.
This thing that just happens, I was the one that orchestrated because the sister that had 4 children there, he had been suffering since she was married. Now she was fortunate to be employed at Adeyemi. Yeah, they said she should relieve her of the work. They shouldn't do it again.
Every night in the midnight, noise making, all these children will be making noise, and we have met them severally verbally to complain about unrest that have been given to the public, but to no correction.
Oluwafenmi Kehinde, who is a former member of the church, said her children have been hypnotized. She wants government and relevant authorities to help her reunite with her children.
This church, you can't build house, rapture. You can't say you want to do name rapture. Your property, sell it, rapture. Don't work, don't go to school. Everything they are do like that. One man, where did they call Peter Ozumasu? Now they use spiritual power. You use spiritual power. So camp all these children so that they don't know their mother. Make government help me to rescue all the children.
NTA News made effort without success to gain access into the basement of the church where the over 70 people were harbored. The Nigeria Police Ondo State Command had on 1st of July rescued 77 people, including children, teenagers and adults from where they were kept to wait for the second coming of Jesus in September.
Abusive North Local Government Area Office of INEC, Enugu State has been set ablaze by unknown arsonist Sunday night, 3rd July 2022. Now, the arsonist overpowered the security guards, forced their way into the premises and set the building ablaze. Although no casualty was reported, 748 ballot boxes, 240 voting cubicles, office furniture and equipment were destroyed in spite of the best efforts of the Enugu State Fire Service deployed from Nsukka. INEC National Commissioner for Information Festus Okoye says the commission is working to ascertain the status of voter registration machines for the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise, as well as uncollected permanent voters' cards locked up in the fireproof cabinet. This is not the first attack of INEC facilities by hoodlums in the state. On 23rd May 2021, INEC office in the neighboring Iboeze South Local Government Area was attacked in a similar manner by unknown gunmen. This followed earlier attacks on Udenu Local Government Area office on 13th May 2021 and the state headquarters in Enugu on 16th May 2021. Chairman Board of Trustees, People's Democratic Party Walid Jibril has cautioned members of the party to shun comments capable of running down the party. A statement signed by the BOT chairman acknowledged that various comments and submissions are normal in political process. He enjoined members of the PDP to exercise patience and respect decisions of the party, especially the choice of its presidential running mate. Senator Walid Jibril also appealed to political office holders, former governors, ministers to work towards resolving issues affecting unity of the party. He also appealed to all PDP members to forget and forgive each other and encourage other Nigerians to support the party at all levels. We'll take a break. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Welcome back. The General Authority for Civil Aviation has approved extension of landing permit for Nigerian Hajj carriers to Wednesday, 6th July 2022. Saudi airports were slated to close by Sunday, 3rd July. The extension will commence from 4th to 6th of one of the airlines, while 4th and 5th have been approved for another. In a statement, Assistant Director of Public Affairs, National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, Fatima Sansa Usara, the Commission sought the extension to enable it airlift the remaining pilgrims into the kingdom for 2022 Hajj. Of the 43,008 pilgrims expected to perform this year's Hajj from Nigeria, 27,359 have been flown to the kingdom by Sunday, the 3rd of July. Similarly, over 5,000 out of the 8,097 tour operators pilgrims with valid visas were airlifted through scheduled flights. The statement further indicates that the extension was necessitated by excessive flight cancellations and delays arising from inability to secure BTA insufficient funds for visas, unavailable PCR test results also. NACON once again reiterates that, God willing, no pilgrim will be left behind, regretting any inconveniences pilgrims might have experienced during the period. President Muhammadu Buhari's administration to improve power generation in the country has received yet another boost with the approval for the construction of a power substation in Akwa Ibom State, with residents in Cross River and Abia states benefiting too. Immediate past senior special advisor to the President on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Ita Enang, made this known while receiving government's delegation from the Federal Ministry of Power and Contractors.
Senator Enang says the project is in fulfillment of President's vowed commitment to further establish the federal government's presence in Akwa Ibom State.
The project site is going to take, they say they want area of land that is 300 by 300 square meters. And that they will build the splint, they'll build the transmission station, and where they will lay the transformer.
Sum of 6.5 billion naira has been released for the immediate commencement of the work. Some residents of the area thank President Buhari for approving the construction of the power substation in the community.
Willingly, council approved this project. Since it has been budgeted for, some monies were released and the contractor has been engaged. We are here today to take over the site so that actual construction, you can see it. We promise that because of our experience, we will deliver the job in time, even before the duration of the project.
The power substation is expected to supply electricity to Ibionibom, Itu, Ikono, in the local government areas in Akwa Ibom State, Obiosiere, and other communities in Odopani local government areas of Cross River State, as well as other communities in Abia State. In Uyo, Nzika Okon, NTA News.
Look at agric. Potential farmers in Benue State have expressed hope for bumper harvest as the Benue State government flags off distribution of variety of improved seedlings to the 23 local government areas in the state. Charles Abba reports that Governor Samuel Otom performed the flag-off ceremony in Makurdi.
Benue's agrarian and prides as the food basket of the nation is not a fluke. It is in sustenance of this status that Benue State government has flagged off distribution of variety of improved foods to farmers in the 23 local government areas of the state. Governor Samuel Otom aptly captured the essence in his remarks.
As you are aware, agriculture provides basic raw materials needed for industrial development, while food is a basic necessity for the survival of human beings.
Special Advisor, Bureau of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Kenneth Achabo, stated that agricultural activities continue to witness improvement despite the socio-economic and security challenges.
Peter Nsuve is a mega farmer from Konshisha local government area.
Produce rice, early rice, the one we produce, the early one from April. Then the further one to do the around June and thereabouts.
I'm pretty sure the farmers will be very happy to access these seedlings and be able to utilize them to boost multiple harvest in the next coming season.
This one that the government is providing for them, the state government providing for them, we are bringing them in.
Home is a local government that produces all variety of foodstuff everywhere.
With the distribution of the variety of improved seeds, hopes arrive that sufficient food would be available during harvest in Benue. In Makurdi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
Stakeholders in the tourism sector are calling on government to prioritize the sector and create an enabling environment for the private sector to maximize the potential abound in tourism to better their lots and improve on the nation's gross domestic product. This was the view of tourism stakeholders at the Cross River Tourism Roundtable in Calabar on repositioning tourism through industry connectivity. Maureen Leo Ajom reports.
In 2019, the tourism industry in Nigeria represented 4% of the nation's GDP, and economic activity supported nearly 3.3 million jobs. And in Cross River State, the once upon a time tourism destination of Nigeria is today only a history to be told and be remembered. Beyond the negative impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the economy, including the tourism sector, the roundtable highlights factors hindering tourism development to include insecurity, unfavorable government policies, and multiple taxation, among other factors. In all of these, stakeholders believe solutions are not far-fetched and the industry can bounce back.
We have the understanding that for every destination, tourism destination, to deliver on what is supposed to be, it must carry the growth attributes of a competitive destination.
First thing is to create that consciousness at the national level, because when tourism is not recognized by the federal government, then it shows the disposition of the nation to tourism.
I'm saying the federal government should listen to the practitioners, because the practitioners are the only ones who can tell you where it's hurting and what you can do for them to make them stand.
It is time to begin to ask that government will play their role in creating policies that will allow private sector to thrive.
The theme for Cross River Tourism Roundtable is repositioning Cross River tourism through industry connectivity. In Calabar, Maureen Ajom, NTA News.
And let's bring you sports update.
The Super Falcons of Nigeria and Bayana of South Africa will kick off their quest for a Women's Africa Cup of Nations glory on Monday when they go head-to-head in Rabat. Both nations, pre-tournament favorites of this 12th edition of the competition, were finalists of the last edition held in Ghana in 2018. For South Africa, Monday's game will be a chance to get a revenge, having lost to the Super Falcons on penalties in the 2018 final.
It's going to be a high-tension game because all you want to come out with the result today. So for me, I want to give it to the Super Falcons, looking at how they have dominated Africa, and they are looking forward to winning it for the 10th time.
The match will be live on the network service of NTA starting from 6 p.m. Meanwhile, UEFA is to launch a program to combat online racist abuse of footballers by working with social media companies to remove harmful content from platforms and raising awareness. Europe Soccer Governing Body added that the program, which will start at the July 6 to 31 Women's European Championship, will work to actively monitor, report, and remedy cases of online abuse. England's Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Bukayo Saka were the targets of online racist abuse after they missed penalties in a 3-2 loss to Italy in last year's European Championship final. And finally, Nick Kyrgios and Stefanos Tsitsipas have both been fined for their conduct during their fiery Wimbledon encounter. Kyrgios must pay $4,000 for an audible obscenity, while Tsitsipas was fined $10,000 for unsportsmanlike conduct. It is the second fine of this year's championship for the 27-year-old Australian, bringing his total punishment to $14,000 after he was sanctioned for another incident at the end of his opening match against Britain's Paul Job. With sport updates, Clement Olorutoba, NT News.
That's Panorama. Thanks for your company. Do remember, with your support, the fight against rape and rapists can be sustained. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.
You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International. Your window through the world.
Our pastors, our imams in every church,
in every mosque. Please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message from the National Orientation Agency.
Hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International. Your window to the world. Lens on Africa.
Welcome to the Window of Africa, a peek into the heart and motions of the land of warmth, color, and friendship. From art to entertainment, history to economics, we bring you a view of Africa that is unique and refreshing. This week on Lens at Africa, from Lake Walami to Mozambique, from African proverbs to fabrics and African fashion, we promise you an hour of scintillating Africa. So let's begin with a visit to the Republic of Mozambique.
Mozambique is a country located in southeastern Africa, bordered by the Indian Ocean to the east, Tanzania to the north, Malawi and Zambia to the northwest. It borders Zimbabwe to the west, Eswatini and South Africa to the southwest. The sovereign state is separated from the Comoros, Mayotte and Madagascar by the Mozambique Channel. The capital and largest city of Mozambique is Maputo, formerly known as Lourenço Marques, from 1876 to 1976. Portuguese is the official language and it is spoken mostly as a second language by about half of the population. Common native languages include Tsongo, Makua, Sena, and Swahili. With a population estimate of over 31 million people, the country covers a total land area of about 786,380 square kilometers. Between the 7th and 11th centuries, a series of Swahili port towns developed, which contributed to the development of a distinct Swahili culture and language. In the late medieval period, however, these towns were frequented by traders from Somalia, Ethiopia, Egypt, Arabia, Persia, and India. The voyage of Vasco da Gama in 1498 marked the arrival of the Portuguese, who began a gradual process of colonization and settlement in 1505. After over 4 centuries of Portuguese rule, Mozambique gained independence in 1975, becoming the People's Democratic Republic of Mozambique. After only 2 years of independence, the country descended into an intense and protracted civil war, lasting from 1977 to 1992. In 1994, Mozambique held its first multi-party elections and has since remained a relatively stable presidential republic, although it still faces a low-intensity insurgency. Mozambique is a scenic country with tropical climate. Fertile soils in the northern and central areas of Mozambique have yielded varied and abundant agriculture, with the Great Zambezi River providing abundant water for irrigation. The country is endowed with rich and extensive natural resources. The economy is based largely on agriculture, with the grain industry, especially in food and beverages, chemical manufacturing and aluminium, as well as petroleum production. The tourism sector is also expanding. Mozambique's extensive coastline, fronting the Mozambique Channel, which separates mainland Africa from the island of Madagascar, offers some of Africa's best natural harbors. This feature places Mozambique in an important role in the maritime economy of the Indian Ocean. Mozambique is a beautiful, wildlife-rich country with beautiful, pristine beaches, uninhabited islands, culture and heritage, and some incredible scuba diving sites, attracting a growing tourism industry. The country is home to some of the world's best coral reefs, over 1,200 species of fish that have been identified in the coastal waters of Mozambique. It also cares for 5 out of 7 endangered species of turtles. South Africa is Mozambique's main trading partner and source of foreign direct investment, while Belgium, Brazil, Portugal and Spain are also among the country's most important economic partners. The people of Mozambique are ethnically diverse, but ethnic categories are fluid and reflects the country's colonial history. Inhabitants of the country were designated Portuguese in 1961, and some ethnic classifications such as Makua Lungwe were created by colonial Portuguese officials themselves. Within the country, in addition to the Makua Lungwe, exist the Tsongo, Sena, Shona, Tupi, Chiwa, Yao, Makonde and Ngoni people. Music in Mozambique serves many purposes, ranging from religious expression to traditional ceremonies. Musical instruments are usually handmade. Some of the instruments used in Mozambique musical expression include drums made of wood and animal skin, the lupembe, a woodwind instrument made from animal horns and wood, and the marimba, which is a kind of xylophone native to Mozambique and other parts of Africa. The marimba is a popular instrument with the Chopi of the South Central Coast, who are famous for their musical skills and dance. Mozambique is one of the most exciting countries in Africa, partly due to its coastal location, easy access, and interesting history.
Mozambique, beautiful, vivid, and diverse. It is an absolutely astonishing place, from the wonderful coastlines that we have to the old colonial buildings, the new buildings, the culture of the people, the diversity, the energy. It's absolutely stunning, somewhere that you do need to visit. Now, we'll be moving on to Mozambique. And where will we be going? Well, we'll sail down to one of Africa's great lakes in Eastern Africa, Lake Malawi.
This area of enormous beauty and inviting fresh water is Lake Malawi. Lake Malawi, also known as Lake Nyasa in Tanzania and Lago Nyasa in Mozambique, is an African great lake and the southernmost lake in the East African Rift System, located between Malawi, Mozambique, and Tanzania. It is the fifth largest freshwater lake in the world by volume, the ninth largest lake in the world by area, and the third largest and second deepest lake in Africa. Lake Malawi is home to more species of fish than any other lake, including at least 700 species of cichlids. The Mozambique portion of the lake was officially declared a reserve by the government of Mozambique on June 10, 2011, while in Malawi a portion of the lake is included in Lake Malawi National Park. Lake Malawi is a meromictic lake, which means that its water layers do not mix. The permanent stratification of Lake Malawi's water and the oxic and anoxic boundary relating to oxygen in the water are maintained by moderately small chemical and thermal gradients. The size of the lake is between 560 kilometers and 580 kilometers long and about 75 kilometers wide at its widest point. The lake has a total surface area of about 29,600 square kilometers. It is 706 meters at its deepest point, located in the major depression in north-central part. Lake Malawi has shorelines on western Mozambique, eastern Malawi, and southern Tanzania. The largest river flowing into it is the Ruhuhu River. The lake's water is alkaline and warm with typical surface temperature between 24 and 29 degrees Celsius, while deep sections typically are about 22 degrees Celsius. Wildlife found in and around Lake Malawi or Nyasa includes Nile crocodiles, hippopotamus, monkeys, and a significant population of African fish eagles that feed off fish from the lake. Lake Malawi has for millennia provided a major food source to the residents of its shores since its waters are rich in fish. Exploration-wise, the Portuguese trader Cândido José de Costa Cardoso was the first European to visit the lake in 1846. David Livingstone reached the lake in 1859 and named it Lake Nyasa. Today, Lake Malawi has become a huge tourism destination regularly visited by thousands of tourists from all over the world. While at the lake, the tourists can engage in freshwater diving and snorkeling, game viewing, kayaking, boat rides to various islands and beaches, fishing, horse riding, and sunbathing. Interestingly, horses can be ridden on, into, and across the lake. Tourist facilities are varied, with some luxury resorts offering an all-inclusive experience and other areas remaining largely non-commercialized. Once you visit Lake Malawi and engage in various activities, your desire will surely be as much as mine. Indeed, it is the desire for more visits to this natural lake, undoubtedly one of Africa's most beautiful lakes and surely renowned worldwide.
Any vacation by the riverside, lakeside, it's absolutely a killer for me. Lake Malawi, what a sight, what a scene. I think you should make your holiday right in Lake Malawi. Alright, so from Lake Malawi, where will we go next? It's the wonderful world of entertainment. And what's happening? Well, it's different strokes for different folks. Some marriages are crashing and some marriages are flashing and dazzling. The world of entertainment is up next.
On the entertainment scene, celebrity marriages have